He looked like any other man, quiet, polite, ordinary, but inside his mind something was slowly unraveling, a darkness no one could see. Rahim was 32, living a normal life in a small city. He had a steady job, a loving family, and friends who admired him. To everyone, he seemed like a man with a perfect routine, but the truth was hidden deep inside his mind. He carried stress from work, unresolved anger from past arguments, and a growing sense of frustration he didn't know how to control. He often told himself that he was fine, that everyone has bad days. Yet, beneath the calm surface, his thoughts were becoming darker. Little incidents that would normally slide off others' minds stayed with him, simmering, building into something dangerous. At work, Rahim faced constant criticism. Every small mistake, every delayed report was met with harsh words. His colleagues didn't realize the effect it had on him. At home, he carried the tension silently. Arguments with his spouse, financial worries, and unresolved childhood trauma, all layered together into a weight he could no longer ignore. Psychologists call this a pressure buildup. When minor stressors compound over time, the brain begins to process situations in extreme ways. Rahim began thinking about revenge, not openly, not consciously, but the seed of danger had been planted. He started noticing himself becoming impatient. Small annoyances at work or in traffic triggered irritation he couldn't control. Every insult, every inconvenience felt personal. His mind was constructing narratives of anger, blame, and imagined threats. One evening, a simple misunderstanding changed everything. Rahim's colleague accidentally spilled coffee on his important documents. To anyone else, it was a minor accident, but Rahim's mind interpreted it as a personal attack. Anger surged inside him like a storm, and without thinking, he lashed out. Words turned sharp, shouting followed, and then a single impulsive action crossed the line between thought and crime. This moment, brief and almost invisible to others, would define the rest of his life. Rahim had never imagined that a normal day, a small incident could lead him here. But psychologically, his mind had been preparing for this collapse for months, maybe years. Rahim's actions were not planned, not premeditated, but they had consequences. Authorities were involved, and soon he was facing the reality of the law. What began as a normal life had now become a legal nightmare. The law doesn't judge intent the way our minds do. It judges action, and one impulsive decision had crossed the legal line. Sitting in a small interrogation room, Rahim replayed every moment in his mind. He couldn't understand how something so small had escalated. His regrets began instantly, mingled with fear, disbelief, and shame. His mind, which had built up the anger, now became the source of torment. Psychologists explain that this type of crime is often the result of a combination of stress, unresolved trauma, and impaired emotional regulation. Rahim's case is not unique. Many crimes are committed not out of hatred, but because the mind reaches a breaking point. People like Rahim don't wake up planning disaster. They accumulate silent pressure, hidden anger, and negative thoughts until a trigger finally pushes them over the edge. What looks like a sudden crime is actually the visible tip of an iceberg buried deep in the mind. His case serves as a chilling reminder that our thoughts, if left unchecked, can have real-world consequences. Emotional intelligence, mental health awareness, and stress management are not optional. They are essential to prevent life-altering mistakes. The law is clear. Impulsive actions that harm others carry consequences. Rahim faced charges that could lead to years of imprisonment. The law doesn't care about what could have been. It cares about what is done. One moment of mental collapse changed the trajectory of his entire life. And this is the reality of psychological crime. A mind unchecked can become a weapon of destruction. Rahim's story is not just about crime, it is about the human mind. Every thought matters, every suppressed emotion counts, and every small decision can have consequences far beyond what we imagine. If you or someone you know struggles with anger, stress, or emotional pressure, seek help, because the mind can either create life or destroy it. Remember, crime begins in the mind, but regret lasts a lifetime.